second speaker, Delphine Le Serre. So entrepreneur and CEO, ranked amongst the top 20 women who disrupt the ed tech in Europe by the Forbes magazine. Delphine is an inspirational female leader in the fields of technologies and education, prized for scientific female calling, and 2 times awarded for women entrepreneurship. Delphine is the founder and the president of the Foundation Education for Tomorrow that promotes a radically new educational paradigm for a human future on Earth. She also turns to become a senior advisor for universities, educational institutions, and large investment funds dealing with education. Delphine is internationally recognized for her leadership and her expertise. She frequently diffuses her experience and her vision as a conference speaker while teaching at HEC Montréal. With a PhD in human sciences, Delphine has previously been a professor and a researcher for 15 years before creating her first online company. Author of academic articles and co-author of educational books, Delphine lives today in Montreal, where she leads the AI Academy of Learning. Committed to the women and the LGBTQ rights, Delphine dedicates her time, her energy, and her knowledge with passion to gather and coordinate people all around the world in order to diffuse a new education paradigm and help create a meaningful future for every human, regardless to their differences. So Delphine will discuss the importance to promote this new education paradigm, to face the complex challenges of today and allow women to play a leading role on Earth, side by side with other human beings, whatever their diversity. I'll pass it on to you, Delphine.
Thank you, Nayara. Thank you, everyone. Bonjour tout le monde. Quelques mots en français avant de débuter mon discours. Bonjour, mesdames les ministres et anciennes ministres, ambassadeurs, ambassadrices, et un grand merci pour votre présence parmi nous aujourd'hui. Je suis très honorée d'être parmi vous et d'écouter chacun des témoignages. C'est extrêmement enrichissant. Thank you, Paul, for this very relevant presentation. I hear things about stereotypes. I hear things about respect, reciprocity. And we did not talk before the presentation, but actually the end of your presentation is like the beginning of mine, the introduction of the condition under which we could make an impact thanks to education and change life, societies, and the world. Well, I'm going to share my screen, so I hope this would work for you. So I don't see you anymore. I think that well, I hope that's okay.
We don't see your screen yet.
You don't see my screen?
Not yet. And if not, we can also share the presentation, but let's try.
Okay. Could you see it now?
No, I don't know if it's just me, but I don't think I can see it.
Oh, is that okay?
Yes,
okay.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Nayara. Okay. So, well, actually, I think that my pitch will be a little bit different from the previous ones. I'm trying to make the link between a necessary new education paradigm and the complex issue of women empowerment. But first, I would like to thank the National Council of Women Canada and, of course, the Business Professional Women Montreal for inviting me to this early opening. I am very honored to have the opportunity to contribute once again today with you, with my voice, my image, my energy, and my life path. to this amazing history of women that we are all part of. And today I would like to share with you two important moments in my life. The first moment happens 18 years ago right now, in 2005. At that time, I was a young engineer and I was working for the biggest public transportation company in France. I was 25 years old and I was co-leading a team of 70 people where there was only one another woman, and she was the secretary of the department. It was my first challenging position during my career, but it has not been my last. I was young, I was full of energy, and aside from this challenge of managing this team every day, I started a PhD. And when you start a PhD in France, sometimes you are asked to teach some lectures at the university. So that day, in October 2005, I gave my first lecture at the university. And it has been for me an epiphany. That precise day, I discover my why, my vibration, what I can call my passion, and probably my mission on earth. And it was education. And for the next 15 years, I spent my life in this wonderful and very powerful area of education. Since you know that education is a powerful weapon, it has the power to change lives, it has the power to change societies, and it has the power to change the world. So for the next 15 years, I spent my life in this powerful area of being successively a professor, a researcher, like most of you here today, a program director, a digital transformation director, a CEO, and an entrepreneur, and a senior advisor for investment funds. And then one day, 15 years later, came the COVID-19. And for me, it was in March 2020. I was in Montreal, where I am living now. And I guess you all remember where you were and what you were doing at that precise time. For me, like for you, I guess, and like for nearly half of the worldwide population at that time, I was isolated. And I was looking at the world we have collectively created. Or maybe I should say the world we have collectively destroyed. And it was my wake-up call. I realized that we have been so wrong for so many years, following a global and collective mistake. That the education I have dedicated my energy to was somehow disconnected from the real challenges the humanity was facing, and that we urgently need to rethink the purposes of education, to move from an economy-centric paradigm to a human-centric paradigm. And if we wanted to do so, we needed more women in leadership positions, more women in politics, more women in business, more women in entrepreneurship, more women in investment funds and in finance, more women in leadership positions to make human-centric decisions for the world and for the future generations. If we look at the current situation more closely today, these future generations, but also the generation of today, they're facing three global transitions: an ecological transition, a geocultural transition, and a digital transition. These transitions are unprecedented in human history. And they're all the more complex that they're interrelated, they're disruptive, they are prompt, and they cannot be compared with any other transitions the humanity has lived before. And these are the reasons why the nature of the skills that the human beings, men and women, should develop and acquire or reacquire has to be urgently reconsidered in order to prepare the new generations and to upskill the current generations if we want to help them conduct those mutations instead of undergoing their consequences. It has become urgent to address this issue of new skills, mainly because of the digital transition. This transition is one of the biggest transitions between the world of yesterday and the world of tomorrow that has already started. And it is transforming all industrial sectors, including education. As a matter of fact, it is transforming the worldwide economy and finally, human societies. As you know, when we talk about the digital transition, we refer to 4 disruptive technologies that are the cloud, the blockchain, the Internet of Things, and the big data, and the artificial intelligence. These technologies are transforming radically the nature, but also the number of the human jobs. And if we consider the specific situation of women who are mainly dealing with clerical and repetitive tasks that are easy to automate, we know today that between 40 millions and 160 millions of women are going to lose their jobs in future years, mainly because of the AI technologies. And future years is by 2030. So we have to upskill them. We have to teach them how to work with AI. And it will also be a fantastic opportunity to raise the issue of what it means to be a human in comparison to a machine. As the AI technologies will address the brain part, the cognitive activity, and the memorization, human beings would focus on human skills. Skills that have been mainly neglected so far. Skills that are linked to the heart. And more interestingly, skills that have been considered for a long time as more feminine skills, since they were related to the heart. Skills such as emotions, empathy, intuitions, imaginations, but also creativity and critical thinking. And what is really interesting today is that several research have confirmed that these perceived feminine skills are the skills of tomorrow. As you can see on this graph, the skills that we need to develop tomorrow are not the STEM skills anymore. They are creativity, socio-emotional intelligence, sensory perception, but also simple and complex reasoning related to critical thinking. So we know that the world will benefit from more female leaders. The world needs more female leaders to address the ecological transition. The world needs more female leaders to address the geocultural transition. The world needs more female leaders to address the digital transition. So now we have collectively to create the conditions to generate this empowerment of women. And education has to play a key role, but not the education of yesterday, but the education for tomorrow. And this is why today, here with you, I propose you to join us at Education for Tomorrow in the creation of a worldwide movement for a new education paradigm to face these complex challenges and allow women to play a necessary leading role on Earth, side by side with other human beings, whatever their gender, their religion, their sexual identity, their color of skin, or their sexual orientation. It means having a lot of courage, but I think that we're able to achieve that together. Thank you.
Thank you, Delphine. What a powerful presentation. And I really liked your visual. Like just through the visual, we can see the need for disruption in this field and the place for this new paradigm, and really how you phrased it of rethinking the purpose of education from this economic paradigm to the human paradigm, all the skills that you brought up, those human skills. It was really powerful. Like I feel like I need more time to chew on this and think about everything that you've shared, and starting with your why also. I think it's always important to go back to the why and the power of education. So thank you so much, Delphine, for this presentation.